Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. I meant to actually make more videos than what I have done over recent times, but I haven't been very well, so um, this is definitely something I would want to kind of like basically tell people, and that is if you have blood coming out from any of the back or the front, get yourself checked out. I probably put it off for too long, but I'm kind of glad that I got it checked out in the end. And there is an ongoing issue, but at least it's not what it could have been, which is something a lot worse. And not everybody is that fortunate, and I left it way too long to address it, and I was quickly, and I will say, amazing. The NHS, I got the appointments really, really quickly to get myself checked. Yeah, having blood in your urine is, it's not ideal situation. As it turns out, it's not actually coming from there, but I did actually have an infection anyway, which I think was making me feel really, really crap for about, I don't know, for a couple of months. I don't know how long that infection had been going, but so it was an interesting experience. I'm glad I got myself checked out, and it's not the end of it yet. There is another issue which is related to the blood thing, but I'm going to be sorting that out soon. Yeah, in the meantime, it's kind of weird. I think over the last, and I've said this in a couple of the other videos, over the last 12 months, I feel I'm becoming a bit more spiritual. I'm not going out to any church or following any, or, going to meetings about this with anyone, but there's something really, really strange going on in the world at this moment, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it feels like certain people are getting something switching on in their mind, and how to explain it, it's almost like it's a good thing. But like a while back, a lot of people were saying people need to wake up, and what they meant was politically wake up to certain scenarios and legalities that were happening in our lives that we needed to kind of be aware of and acknowledge and defend ourselves against. But I honestly think the real waking up is kind of about to happen, and it's really, really strange. I've had dreams about this year, about May and June, and I'm not really sure what they meant, but again, it was all about kind of waking up and being told that stuff's beginning, and I feel really, really good on that score. I feel a lot more loving towards people. It's not a shallow love. It's not like I'm loving towards people until somebody does me wrong, and then I kind of like go crazy on them. But it's just it's like deep inside, very hard to explain. I can only say it's a sort of a spiritual thing. Maybe it's an awakening. Yeah, and I felt like this for a while, and it's weird, and people are starting to react to me differently as well. It's like I've shed something, um, but it's almost like shedding a cloak, and now people can actually see you for who you maybe will be, because I think what I feel like the previous incarnation of me was, and I'm only going back a couple of years, and that was almost like from, I guess, yeah, from probably from when I was a teenager, was that I was quite insecure, very confrontational, and people generally avoided me, and it was kind of, I've always been a loner, not a loner, I've always been pushed out of groups anyway, but just recently people seem to be a lot more at peace being around me, if that makes any sense. And yeah, it feels different. It feels good. It feels nice. But it's because I've changed, and maybe there are people in my life, in work and otherwise, that have been a catalyst, I think, for certain changes within me. And I've actually listened to them, whereas before I've always felt like, well, they're just kind of having a go at me. But this is the first time I've sort of like taken time to absorb and put into action, some of the stuff they've suggested. Because I've been quite stubborn, I believe. Even though I've never felt stubborn, I think I actually was stubborn in my behaviour and actions. But yeah, it kind of feels wonderful, and I think that, and this isn't just some kind of euphoric trip. I still have to go through the mundane things in life. I'm still going through this issue that I've spoke about at the beginning, but it really kind of does feel like something is becoming the main thing in my life. And this thing, anything that else is going on, kind of falls underneath this. I think everything is kind of, is it diverging, converging? Anyway, everything's coming towards like a singularity, which kind of feels important because different issues. I mean, I've got two main issues in my life, but and well, maybe three issues or four issues. But anyway, all these different issues, they all amount to the same single shaft of light that I believe I'm experiencing within me. That sounds really woo-woo. There's got to be a better way of actually putting that. Nothing else in my life now kind of feels as important as what's going to come next, is what I'm saying. And it's not like I'm going to disregard anything else that's going on, but it's almost like somebody is taking me by the hand and taking me up the hill, and now I'm kind of looking down upon the world, upon my world, the bigger world, and just kind of seeing a bigger picture. We live in a time now where I honestly believe that the veil has dropped on a lot of evil. I think evil does exist. I think people who aren't evil are misled, and they can be influential people. And I think evil does exist, and I think what's happening in the world is that because the veil's dropping on the evil, I think there's an opposite side to this, that people are falling into. And let me know actually if you feel like your good energies have been suddenly switched on, and you kind of got better vibes towards people than you had before. Because I think it's definitely a phenomenon that I recognise is happening to me. It's happened to a few of my friends as well. I've spoken to other people, not just my friends, and they say they kind of suddenly feel differently about the world. It's like politicians and politics and anger and war and control. It's all going to play out, but they are part players to the main things, which is good versus evil, I guess. And somebody's drilling upstairs, so if you can hear something that sounds like a crazy wasp, it's somebody's drilling in the wall. It's Saturday, so it's fine. It's a good day to do that on. So yeah, that's kind of like what I feel at the moment. I feel that good and evil are showing themselves. Everything else that we've created in society and the world is a bit player to all of this, and I'm not saying that anything's going to come to a head, but I think big events are around the corner. I've had some crazy, crazy dreams. I don't know if I mentioned, can't remember whether I mentioned it in the video on this channel, but I had a very intricate dream about what you would call an alien invasion, which was just mad, and it involved these like orbs, white orbs, and I remember saying they were like big as a beach ball, so sort of kind of that size, and they're all in the sky and everything. And some people were trying to, you know, knock them out the sky, I guess, with stuff, and then we found ourselves in this big sort of silver hall, and it was almost like being in a sort of chrome box or bathtub or something. It had everything. The floor was chrome, the sides were chrome, the ceiling was chrome, and we were all in there, and everybody was like quite stressed out, and these balls came down in front of us. And I remember the one that came down in front of me. I wasn't as frightened, but I was kind of resigned. You know, like whatever, you're going to do to me, just do it. And I remember that I was looking into this ball, kind of feeling a little bit of fear, but also, well, you haven't just killed us all off. We're here. And then the ball kind of changed, and I was looking into the face of a woman, but to describe her, she had braided hair, and she was of an Egyptian appearance. And then the same thing happened around the hall, and there was thousands of people in there. We all looked into these balls, and then the panic seemed to lift. We seemed to become very compliant, and we all working together to help the situation, and we were putting in people into rows and stuff, and organizing people, and it seemed quite nice at the end of the dream, which is weird, as I'm assuming that this was like an abduction or something. But yeah, it was, it's crazy to kind of think about these things, and it sort of that dream was probably about, I don't know, November, earlier than that, probably September maybe last year. Yeah, but since then, I definitely changed. I feel a lot better about people. So I just wanted to express that in this video. So I suppose my question is, has anybody else felt that they've kind of evolved into a different person over the last, sort of like, I don't know, year or 6 months? And it doesn't necessarily mean we're better people. We're suddenly good people and everybody else is bad. But there's some kind of awakening going on. And if you've experienced that, please let me know in the comments. So yeah, till next time, take care of yourselves.